Okay, there. That I don't know how to live stream this. I got to figure that out. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to our fourth week of the Unfiltered Journey with Lindsay. And we have talked about starting it. We have talked about all of the things. Now we are 212K on to 40K, rolling and moving and shaking. And this is kind of where I don't want to say I reinvented the wheel. I just started talking to my leaders, my individuals that were promoters, and asking them what it is that they needed. So keep in mind, the one thing we did is we started a team page. So back 11, almost 12 years ago, when I started a team page, there wasn't guides and all of these other kinds of things. It was simply just a team page. But that was the easiest way to add people because 99% of people were on Facebook, and they were able to get added in there. We were able to toss calls, and do stuff like that. Also, another thing that I did was I had a weekly team call. Crazy to say that out loud, but every single Sunday night, faithfully, Thriving Sisters had a team call that we would just host a different leader that would come on, talk about the things that was going on in their business, the momentum that they had. And that was just such a great way to build our community. And that started in the very, very beginning stages. And again, I was ignorance on fire. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any perfect plan. I didn't make a perfect plan. I simply just started a team page, did the things that I needed to do, and I moved forward from there. And so, what I did and what we have implemented now within our team page that I feel like is important is kind of started like a Thriving Sisters. So, I want to take y'all back. I want for you after this to go to the Thriving Sisters page. It's going to be super duper funny. Go to albums, scroll down, and you'll literally see it's not in albums. Hang on, files. Go to files and you'll see a Lavelle PDF. It'll say lavelle.75.pdf. When you open that, this is so crazy, but I'll be honest with you, this was what we made in the very beginning to welcome people to our Thriving Sisters page. And we sat down and we had this cool little guide. And I remember just being so excited. I took all this information. If you look at this, you would just laugh. But I took all of this information and would print it off and have a new promoter because when I first started, majority of my personals were local. So I was able to print this off, go take it to them, sit down with them talking. But here's what I want to say tonight and what I want to get across to you. I want for you to open up this document. And I want for you to spend 30 minutes in this document reading over how from your very beginning of your Thrive experience, promoter journey to now, not much has changed. Yes, we have a VIP 400. We no longer have an iPad. But if you look at the concepts of what this is, I want for you to stop reinventing the wheel. It's so easy. My internet states it's unstable. I swear. You pay. Am I good? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Um, we pay for all of these things. I mean, honestly, it's so old. It says a letter from Paul Gravett. Well, that's a joke now, right? But it has all of your IM statements. It has what the shake is. Bottom line, it's talking about the difference in a customer and promoter. It's showing all of the team calls. Guys, that is so crazy to me when I think about the fact that we had team calls. Talks about the refund, um, how to combat a skeptic, samples and signups, branding. OMG, how crazy is that? I just want you to take 30 minutes to go over this and look at this and see how things really have not changed. Have we added new bonuses in? Have we changed some different? But at the end of the day, when we stick to what is tried and true, which is the Thrive experience, which, by the way, if you were on the team Zoom last night, you would know that yours truly is not thriving today because I did take the challenge myself. And it isn't because I know the product doesn't work, it's because I'm not going to ask somebody else to do it and not do it. But I did that because it's so important. And I remember just hearing that over and over and over again. So here I am, 3 days, got 2 more days, I can do it. But in that first 6 weeks, we just kind of made a tool and a guide to help people. Because in this business, there are going to be people that are going to go full steam ahead and they're going to take all of your information I'm sorry that my dad doesn't understand that I'm working and you're antagonizing your dog. So please, there's a lot of background noise. Um, and then that you just have to continue to understand that there is the worker and there is the one that's going to come in. And if they just get their product for free, that's okay for them. So you just have to give them the resources and the tools. And like I said, in the first 14 days, follow up with them. So, how we jumped from 12 to 40K is simply Facebook, three-way calls. So in the first 6 weeks, we hit that 12K bonus. I went, got my car. I was the one that purchased my car the minute I hit it. Like I hit it and I went to James Wood in Decatur, or didn't actually, and purchased my car. And a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I knew we were onto something. I'd never owned a new car personally. I take that back. I did, and it got repossessed like in the first 6 months. So let me rephrase. I did. But this was my first car that I knew I wasn't going to have to pay for. This was my first, not yours, mine, and ours. So I went and I purchased that car. And when I purchased that car, that is when the flip switched, or the switch flipped for me. Hi again, no mental clarity with no Thrive today. Um, that was when I knew that I had to keep my head down. I had to dig, and I had that car payment that I could not afford if Thrive wasn't paying for it. So I knew that I had to stay all in. And that's really one of the main reasons. Number one, I wanted a new car, but really I was like, if I make this commitment, then I have to stick to my guns. I have to work this business while I'm working a full-time job, while I'm still a full-time mom, volunteer, coach, all of the things. That's it. It enticed me to know that, like, this hard work is paying for this nice car that I'm getting into every single day. I've never had leather seats. Damn sure never thought I would own a Cadillac. Guys, I never in a million years thought that I would own a luxury vehicle ever. If my car started and got me from A to B, I thanked my lucky stars. Like, that's just, there's no shame in that. That's just the life that I lived. That was who I was. A car has instilled to this day is not an importance to me. If they would give me the $800, I'd be driving me a freaking Kia Sorento little SUV car, because I cars don't mean anything to me. I do not care about name brands. It's just not something that's a big deal. But when they were going to pay for it, well, heck yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. So I purchased that, and that's what kept my head in the game. Is I knew that I had to hit that auto bonus every single month. And I knew that if I helped my team, again, my team hit their goals, I was going to get where I was. And I've always had that concept of helping other people. Just like today, I sat on the phone with people that are 20, 30 levels deep with me. It doesn't matter. They're in this to win it. I am not going to hold that against them because they're so far down. I feel like if you are a part of this, even your side sisters and brothers, if you're genuinely in it for the right reason and you have a big heart, the sky is the limit. And God will bless you when you help other people. We not all learned that? Um, so I will wrap it up with just saying that I won't wrap it up. It's only 5:38, so I'll talk a little longer. From 12K to 40K jump, this is when I really, though, had to sit down with a pen and paper and look and see where people were. This is where I was very strategic. Again, I did not know anything about the waiting room. I'm going to be very transparent with you. I had no idea what it was. It isn't that they didn't have trainings on it. It's just I had never been in network marketing. I had never done anything like this. Apparently, it's not very common to have a waiting room, even in network marketing. So I didn't use it wisely. I did not use my waiting room wisely. I always would tell Jason Camper, and back in the day, Paul Gravett would be like, if y'all would just open the waiting room up for 30 minutes, I could change the whole trajectory of your game. And I remember Paul saying, he was like, and if we did, we would be bankrupt. Because if people like knew, really what to do with that when they were running in the first 60 days of Lavelle, it would be chaos and crazy. But we didn't, and that's okay. I ran my business the way that I knew the best that I could do. And so I got my sister to her auto bonus. That was my number one goal. She was my level one. It was my family. I helped her hit her goal. Then ultimately, that was to show my mother, which my mom had a team under her. So it was to work under her. My sister had a whole nother leg under her. Mind you, I want to make very, very clear right now, Carolyn, your whole leg, aka Brittany Williams down, is nowhere near even a thought an inkling of what our team was. So this was just, this was not a Brittany Williams leg. This was simply just what we had right here with our levels. And that's what's so crazy to me is how fast we grew. So January 24th signed up. February, within the first 16 days, hit 12K, and March hit 40K immediately. And that was because I sat down with the drawing board. I went to Home Depot, and Home Depot sells that white board. It's just like the expo boards, but it was big. Like you could buy them real, real big. I went and I bought it. I had my husband buy it, and I took it out into my shop, believe it or not. And I wrote down names, and I wrote down what they needed and how they needed to get there and what we were going to do. And I made a game plan, and I got on a phone call, or I had them come to my house. That's how old school it was. We didn't have Zoom then. I called them, or I had them come to my house, and I drew it out. I'm a very, very big visual learner. You can tell me a lot of things to my face, but it makes no sense to me. I'm a visual learner. So I needed to have the bubbles. I needed to see where people needed to flow, where they needed to go, how it needed to do this. And I moved on, and I helped people get to their goals. So from that 12 to 40K jump, I'll be honest, I wasn't adding very many personals to me. I think I had 4 personals that were running at that moment. It was me helping them get to their goals. I've never been, and we had that Zoom with Cliff not too long ago, and then Susan had a Zoom with Jason Jorgensen, and I asked both of them, would you go deep and wide, or would you go wide and deep? And they both said that they would go wide and deep. Well, when I first started, I went deep. I just kept saying, add. I always kept only 4 personal people in right next to me. The rest of them, I moved around. And so I just remember sitting down and scheming with people and saying, what are we doing? How are we doing this? What are we going to make work? And I want for us to take away tonight to get back to the drawing board. Get back to the drawing board for yourself. Okay, my goal is to get to 4K. What do I need to get to 4K? If you look through, if you go back into Thriving Sisters and you look through these files, you're going to see, even on there, that there is going to be, trying to look, I don't know where it is or what it is. I'll have to look through it. There is also a very old roadmap to 4K, but I have a new roadmap to 4K that I will post and show y'all. I'm trying to think where I could post it. Anyways, take that roadmap to 4K, to 12K, whatever goal it is that you're running for. And I want you to do a drawing map. I want you to sit down. I want you to do the circles. I want you to put the names that you think, use a pencil, and really just sit down and think, who is it? Who is it that needs this product? Who is it that could build this business? Who do I need to talk to? And get back to the drawing board. So I will post, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post it up underneath Thriving Sisters, this graphic that I put up today. I'm going to post them down there. And then you take that and you look at it and you make a roadmap. And I want to challenge you to send me that roadmap that you have. I'm not asking for it to be this huge thing. I just want you to take some time to draw it out. When I sit down with a blank piece of paper and I old school write names, I want to show you right now that's exactly what I did today. I got to take you in here to go get it. Going in my camper with me. Everybody hold tight. This is why I'm big with pen and paper and why I tell you this. And I just get plain, I'm going to turn the light on. Plain white paper. That didn't help us, did it? And this is, I literally just sit here and draw out. Then I write names down of who, I mean, there's not anything on here. I'm just showing you that I'm still old school pen and paper. And these notes, you heard Glenna last night, like everybody does stuff differently. I'm old school. I still write on a piece of paper. I'm just like her. It folds up. It goes everywhere with me. And it's got arrows. It's got all kinds of crazy stuff. But that's how my brain works. That's how I know who my next person is to reach out to, what goal I'm getting to. My personal goal is finding a new 12K. I need a new 12K runner. And I've got to find that person that wants to work this business and then sit down with them and do it. So tonight, it's all about you. We have our customer acquisition bonus, which is awesome, but that was not something we had 12 years ago. What we had 12 years ago and where you made your money was getting promoters and helping promoters to get to their goal and then helping their promoters get to their goal. And I think we've just lost so much sight of that because the industry is shooken right now. Let's just be honest, it is. There's so many new flashy crazy things going on that we forget what our basics are. So your challenge is that I want you to go back in Thriving Sisters, look in the files and go to that Lavelle 75 PDF, whatever. That's the original plan of action that I made for our team. Just look through it. Prove to yourself that not a lot has changed. So quit trying to reinvent the wheel. Second, I want you to just make a roadmap of what it is that you need to get to your next goal. If you're just trying to get to cab 5, then I want you to write down what that's going to take. If you're getting to 44K, write down what that takes. 12K, whatever it is, make it. Write it out. Show yourself that you're able to do it. Guys, I'm really weird, but I have like a trunk full of all of my old Lavelle stuff that I've done over the last 12 years that will be coming out, and I'll show you all the different things I've reinvented and I've done and I've changed up over this journey because hello, it's unfiltered and we're always evolving in this business and in ourselves too, because now I talk about the business opportunity a lot more than I used to because I know what it can do and I'm living proof of that. But go and take those 2 challenges, see what it does for you. Send me your sheet if you want to, your roadmap. I'm going to go place the roadmap that Laura Wells actually made it underneath this unfiltered in the Thriving Sisters page, and you can see which one you want and just look at it and just play with it. Get your old school pen and paper out and let's go make a difference. Guys, thanks for jumping on tonight, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.